Alright. I'm back for the home stretch. This is probably another 4 fucking hours. I don't expect this to be short. And yeah, there's probably a chance that I won't be able to finish. It is getting late. But I didn't think the endeavor of just getting here was going to take 2 hours, so... Or most of 2 hours. Our last few happy moments with our friends and boarding the Ragnarok and getting here. That was about an hour. Either one?
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this. So... waiting to die like all the others, are you? So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the Expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind. Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance, You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Estinian!
Stay back! This is the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you.
No! Not Estinian too!
There's a wind. He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
I'm gonna end up alone by the end of this. Must this always be the price paid for safe passage? If I had known this place would claim Estinian too, No. No, it's what had to be done. As by the beating of mighty wings doth wind blow, where dragons may never again touch the sky, he and the shade he bore shall soar free. The music's changing. The wind has stayed the fog that covered this island, and the air. It no longer feels quite so stifling. Look there, the wind. This is Estinian's doing, I'm sure of it. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. Forgive me, Leon, but could you go on ahead? I need a moment to gather my thoughts. Now we're over here. A powerful gale has delivered you to another island. The other scions should arrive before long. He did it. He found a way forward for us. Yeah. The dragons remain trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war. Yet Estinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting, Alfino, just like Tancred. Their sacrifices are why we can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alice is right. We must press on, for their sake. We have to keep going. Even if Estinian isn't here to see it, I'm sure Alfino wouldn't want to disappoint him. Though it pains me to say it, we can ill afford to stop and grieve our comrade's passing. No, there will be time enough after. To feign bravery with bold words is a simple matter, but without the strength of will to match, we are powerless against Dynamis. Not less than unshakable conviction will suffice, which makes me question if I am up to the task. You've already lost then, man. Get it together. You gotta, stay strong and say, yes, I can. That's literally the test of will we're up against here. No choice have we but to march onward, lest we squander their noble sacrifices. Road paved. Illegible. Sacrifice. But it's all falling apart. I guess that's the point, isn't it? It's all falling apart. As Justola and Alice said, we must continue. Notice the change in our surroundings? Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. I see that, yeah. It would be prudent to learn more of it then. Tread carefully lest we lose our footing in the sand. Again, I like that the music's actually changing as we move forward. Sand. Sand everywhere. Didn't she also talk in her report about a planet that was covered in, like, nothing but sand or something? All desert? If not for the light emitted by these glyphs, I might well have overlooked this monolith. Another seemingly barren world. For a mercy, the air is nowhere near as stale, but still quite dry, and the sand will no doubt prove bothersome in due time. If you were worried about my vision, you needn't be. I can still see quite well. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in its surface, would appear as ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. Dragons, from what I recall, preserve their knowledge in song and eschew the written word entirely, though we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Metion claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way towards a similar end. Fascinating as this script is, we will glean naught from what we cannot decipher. What do you suppose that is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. Drifting Ia? Sounds oddly familiar. Damn, this thing has a long feather. Go away. I think I'm confusing it with something else I heard. Can't remember what though. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Ah, forgive me. I had forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intention, Ia, I believe, was a pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kop Kuj. Yes, Kop Kuj of the Ia. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether, or dynamis, as this space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Excuse me. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive, then? That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Ia are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I have prepared 198,712,180,827. That's a really big number, dude. That's rather a lot, isn't it? Ah, my apologies. I have omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain a corporeal form? Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word. It would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. I want to experience that specific sensation of death. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Ia, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans? In which case, your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Ia wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly. Not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. The hell did I miss that? The hell? Actually, I think it's on top of this thing. That's why I missed it. Oh! It looks on the map like you can't actually be in there, but you can. With water. I think you can fall in. Well, that's interesting. Ah, shit. Okay. Thought I came all this way for nothing. God, the music is beautiful here. The sadness that it evokes, it's like a gentle sadness. It's also like foreboding. Oh, it's gonna be by the etherite then. More violet-colored crystals. I cannot place my finger on it, but there is something unsettling about them. I should not be surprised their concept of a village is so different from ours, and yet... you are. Something tells me we have different definitions of the word abode. They said there would be others, but I don't know what I was expecting. The Isle of Dragons was shrouded in the silence of the dead, yet the stillness here doth suggest the Ia are by and large merely sleeping? Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers you will find remain idle in their domiciles. Though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs, hanging from the stone structures there. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If, in our idleness, we were struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a modal state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts toward one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. Okay. Even should they elect not to emerge, you need but cast your thoughts to the crystals to communicate with the Ia within. I suppose there's a logic to creatures comprised of spiritual energy utilizing crystals as living spaces, but it is nevertheless surprising to see. You cast your thoughts toward the crystalline domicile, but there is no response. You wish to speak? Very well. Pray. A moment, if you would. Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment. I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? Wait a minute. If I heard correctly, the Ia within this crystal says it will emerge from within shortly. Do you suppose they all appear as Kafkud does? Well, the ones in the desert look like him, so maybe. Despite my best efforts, mine overtures have elicited no response from this crystal. I can but assume its resident sleepeth most soundly. Or so I hope. I'm gonna do this now. A strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. What was that about? You alright in there? You need some water or something? Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? Not really. I see. If they fail to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not, there are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, they said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. Flesh abandoned. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Ia have awakened. Ah, there they are. May I introduce to you La Lok, Du Beek, and Nanig. Or Nij. There we go. La Lok, Du Beek, and Nanij. It has been too long, Koth Pooch. I dare say Solder 4 has since completed an orbit. Indeed. Until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course, of course. The ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms and divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kofkuch, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests. A matter of proper form. Ah, yes. So long has it been. It had completely escaped my mind. And still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Thinking. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Nenij, the archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dollar. Surely you recall that much. Ah, of course. Food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to the replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right, that's right! We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. Oh shit, now there's a lot. Yeah, there's a whole village of them now. Throughout the universe, but few races have completely shed their flesh as we have. As a result, we seldom receive visitors from other systems. Extreme differences can inhibit meaningful interaction, you see, and none more so than those which affect communication. Most entities, for example, cannot even comprehend our words. You are rare indeed in your ability to do so. You avail yourselves of Dynamis, yes? It is an impressive application, even if it is ultimately pointless like all the rest. To think that I had forgotten what had become of the archives. How much has my essence deteriorated since last I was awake? Not that I am averse to having my mind fade away in this manner. It isn't so unlike the natural degradation of one's flesh. How delightful. How much ether would be adequate for your kind, I wonder? As I recall, there is a fine line between optimal satiation and violent sickness. Yeah. There is. What's everyone else thinking right now? We were told to stand wherever we like. This strikes me as less of a meal and more a ritual. So you guys all just picked spots on this pattern. Little end circles like this. Nice. Judging by the construction of this facility, it would seem that Ia directly draw upon the ether. Oh shit. Ether, they said, but I can't help but feel a bit nervous. If they are thus able to replenish their ether, the loss of vital sustenance isn't like to be the cause of their demise. If it is as I suspect, then this so-called beast... Actually, let us just see it for ourselves. Fear not, we are not like to come to harm. Yeah, I don't think so either. What you gonna do? This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. If you are worried about the quality of ether, don't be. We guarantee it is the purest stuff. The purest crack. Time to consume some meth. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether. But nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. Again, in this particular spot. You brace yourself again, but again nothing seems to happen. Just as I had suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the Ia's homeworld, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amaranth. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. Damn. Depressing. So, did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? Eating food. Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. I think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder. Wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh, and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? You flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Ia yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. Sounds familiar. From the tangible such as land to the tangible such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see. Too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, again, sounds very familiar. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve the problem, or this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believe that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegia, or Elegia. Elegia, maybe? Like her, Master Y'shtola seeketh the truth of creation. How will the truth of the Ea, who uncovered all only to desire the end, fall upon her ear? Yeah. I don't think she's going to be satisfied with it, but we'll see. You may be intimately familiar with a problem, know it like the back of your hand, yet be powerless to solve it. Yeah. I actually do know that pretty well. In the course of my struggles, I've often been made keenly aware of this fact. I wonder, have the Ea never felt the same frustrations? To define the laws of creation would have been no small feat, even for the Ea. Nay, having eternal life and hence no sense of haste would only have made it harder. Such tremendous drive for knowledge they once must have had, and I struggle to reconcile it with the listless beings before us. Whatever answers they found, it did not bring them happiness. It was never said that truth, or knowledge in general, would. They say that the truth sets you free, that doesn't mean it makes you happy. There is an important distinction there. It is true that a lack of knowledge can beget fear. Therefore, in theory, by acquiring all knowledge, it may be possible to attain peace. But as Heidelin told us, all those peoples who attempted to free their worlds from life's woes met with failure. And the Ea are among them, as their presence here attests. The tale we are about to hear will not be a happy one. No, I don't think so. A fundamental truth. Maybe this is why they say ignorance is bliss, right? We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. Before we hear the climax of the Ea's tale, mayhap I should speak of... On second thought, it would only be a distraction. We will talk more when the time is right. Where knowledge leads. Something seems to be weighing on Urianger's mind. Ere we join the Ea, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Leon, Grahatia, might I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode, if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Urianger, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. Excuse me, the rest of us shall go on ahead to Elegia. Lest you worry, we won't start without you. Proper gentleman. There he goes. Go on and assist Uyanje with his mysterious task. We shall wait for you. There is naught but desert out there. What could Uyanje wish to investigate? As long as Uyanje explains himself to you, then I shall be satisfied. You lend him an ear in my stead. Right. Oof, way back there, huh? Alright, settle in for a comfy ride. Actually, hold on. Oh, we're gonna come back this way anyway. Never mind. I might forget. Something might happen. I forget to pop the compass once in a while. Over there. Okay. Astromagnetic storm. Is that what these waves of... The wellspring of regret. A spring, and a sizable one at that. I hadn't noticed it amidst the dunes. I did. A little earlier, I got acquainted with it. Aye, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we have established, here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. Though faithfully formed are the simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Meteon made contact with them while they still lived. Whilst they still lived. Of course. She must have visited the stars of the dragons and the Ea before either race perished in their entirety. Thus could she make their emotions her own, and with them create more faithful simulacra than had she relied on any historical account. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteon perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an Enteleki. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Yeah. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it the power of dynamis. It is my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteon did unleash Dynamis and ushered the dragons and the Ea unto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourself this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Never again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. Oh, man. And as for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I explained why I picked him too, then. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all that we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend. I shall. Without further ado, then, let us go join our comrades. Let us be off to Elysia. A fellow paladin, also reaching the end of her journey. The lady? I wish you luck. Both of us, actually. Don't mind me. Come, let us hear the Ea's tale and learn what caused such enlightened beings to crave nihility. While we waited, we mentioned our star situation to the Ea. They nodded sagely, or something to that effect. I understand you've taken care of business. If you are ready to begin, then so are we. Again, this all hits so close to home. I've had way too many days than I care to remember and count where I've literally felt the same things and thought the same things, no longer wishing to exist, thinking it's all pointless, wanting to return to oblivion. This hits home pretty hard. It would seem your star too has been plunged into a panic-induced cataclysm. We hope that our tale will not serve to exacerbate it. Oh, you are here already? Your comrade said you would be late. Your companion in front, the one called Istola. She seems the keenest to learn the truth. I pity her. We have prepared for our recounting. To facilitate comprehension, the information will be simplified to match our primitive minds. Gee, thanks. It seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then?
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age.
There's actually a whole YouTube video explaining exactly this, yeah. Like 30 minutes. A fascinating video, too.
Proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost.
Maybe vain, but fuck it.
Civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the Air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Yeah, you and me both.
You still
Shockingly.
know. You mustn't. The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have.
Because why
I
not?
will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be,
I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled?
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn. Alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can. Before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
It seems insensitive and almost like trivializing it a little bit. But that is the conclusion that I've come to myself whenever I get like that, thinking it's all pointless because it's all gonna end anyway. Not just my life, but also how they talk about the universe. Because yeah, like I said, there is a 30-minute YouTube video that summarizes like the entire timeline of the universe with our current scientific knowledge and understandings, and that is pretty much how it's going to end. Exactly as they describe it. With our current knowledge, that's pretty much how it's gonna go. Eventually, entropy will lead to that. Energy will fade out, and it'll just be a cold, vast emptiness forever. But again, like I said, it seems that it can seem a little insensitive and trivializing it, but I came to the conclusion of, well, then fuck it. Why not just see it through to the end? What's the rush in dying? Even if you know it's all for nothing. Enjoy the ride. That's it. So I 100% back up what Yustola said, of course. I'll continue to pursue knowledge myself. That's why I have the name that I do on Twitch and YouTube, honestly. The pandemic may have made it stall for a bit, but I do want to get back to it, as I mentioned on the previous stream. I do want to start doing that again. The pursuit of knowledge, I mean. Because that's just how I enjoy life. In general, what I was trying to say is, find a way to enjoy life, even if it's pointless. Why not? Never have I felt such emptiness. It's as if a part of me is gone. Yeah. And finally, like I said, our quest doesn't end here. No, it doesn't. Victory. I think my eyes only see what they want to see. Victory is not yet lost. My eyes see what they want to. Are you all ready to continue on? Then let us make for where the light shone. Ishtel and Urianger have opened the way for us. Right. Final words, final thoughts. I have a question. One that can only be answered by a being of flesh and bone. Will you hear it? Sure. Thank you. Before I ask, however, I require that you learn more of my kind, lest your answer be senseless and vapid. Okay. You can come to know us through our final words, though, alas, you cannot comprehend them in your corporeal form. Thus, I shall temporarily free you from your body, allowing you to perceive as we Ea do. Please indicate when you are ready to shuffle off your mortal coil. No time like the present, go ahead. You have prepared, yes? Very well. After you have been liberated, I ask that you read 3 epitaphs ere returning to me. Please brace yourself, as there is a recorded evidence that this may feel weird. Quote unquote. Okay. Sweet. I can actually move faster too. I got 30 minutes. I grasp eternity, yet I hold only loss. If forever has an end, why has it not come? I do like that they explore the dangers of finding immortality, though. With no future, we turn to the past, knowing none have turned to our present. We are the dead end. That is true, and that is pretty sad, yeah. Ah yes, I've hit upon a fine verse, haven't I? We fought to go beyond our star. We fought to go beyond our dimension. We fought for nothing. They were too focused on the destination instead of enjoying the journey, weren't they? It all comes back to that, doesn't it? When you know it's all for nothing, then stop focusing on the destination and enjoy the ride. You have read them? This as well. However, you have yet to look upon our most important text. Please seek it in the charming wooded area outside our home. There's an ether current that way too. Didn't they see me like this? They probably do. That'd be amazing. To see another player like this. God, that is beautiful over there. I can't get enough of this music. I might be falling asleep to this music soon. It's like the perfect kind of soundtrack for that. And perfect for, like, pondering things like this, existential questions. This is obviously the point. The price of eternity is joy. Its gift, unending sorrow. Can't have one without the other, as always. Ah, guess it's just probably a good thing we don't live forever then. Maybe eventually you just run out of living too long, you'll eventually run out of things to find joy in, I suppose. That's something I or no one else can really answer, because none of us live forever, so... You never truly know what it's like unless we've been there before, and no one's been there before. Living forever, I mean. I do love that the Final Fantasy series has never shied away from exploring topics like this. Really nice. It's not the only video game to do that either, obviously. Nier does it a little bit too. I can see why they crossed over. From what little I've seen of that game, that franchise, and heard of it. But I like games that do that though. They're not afraid to like touch on subjects like this and explore it. It is very fun mental masturbation, as I once heard someone call it. Like philosophy, for example. So, you know, it's just vain sort of musings in the mind. It's fun though. So you have read all that was left behind? Those inscriptions were written by the first of our kind, the first to know the pinnacle of enlightenment, and the first to know the depths of despair. They have prepared you to answer my question. As someone bound to a corporeal form, do you think there is hope to be found in life? The only way to know is to keep living. Fascinating. It appears that embarking on that quest for hope and seeing it to its ultimate conclusion is a sort of corporeal privilege. That was most edifying. Creatures of flesh enjoy shiny tokens, do they not? Please have some as thanks. Ah yes, I shall return you to your body as it seems you are fond of it. Thanks. I'm glad you didn't just leave me like that. Cool. The internal workings of your mind are so different from ours. It is miraculous that we are able to communicate at all. And yet, the vastness of our intellect and enlightenment is no doubt beyond your grasp. Oh shit. I don't think my eyes caught when you put that, Crimson. But yeah, in the dance game. I don't know if that was in response to what I said just now about being turned back to my body or something else. Ending as one. How fortunate that you are here, corporeal being, for we are in need of your assistance. I am sure you saw some of my kind drifting about the untamed wilds just over there. As I understand, they are binding their spirits together as one, in hopes of diluting their consciousness and thereby erasing their sorrows. Their consciousnesses, excuse me. Unfortunately, the resulting amalgam doubtless longs for more minds to incorporate, and if other Ea approach it, we may be drawn into the growing mass against our will. Your corporeal form seems to outweigh your mental capacity, so you should be safe, however. Please destroy the collective consciousness before it kills us all. Okay. Your ready acceptance gladdens me. I believe that if you lay waste to two wandering souls, the amalgam will appear. Do be aware that while your mind is safe, it may present other dangers should it realize that you are what you are attempting. Excuse me. This place makes me smile and happy. A most stimulating discussion. Pardon me, traveler. I lack the sense of time as perceived by those of finite lifespans, but might you be able to spare a moment to speak with some of my fellow Ea? Also, I forgot to comment that other guy. I love how they call you stupid with their own words. Your consciousness will be fine because you're too dumb, basically. It is rare to, from being primitive. It is rare to find one so unmarred by the scars of deepest wisdom. Your appearance and perceptions as an outsider differ so much from our own that I wonder if a degree of interaction might prove stimulating for both parties. Okay. Much obliged. I shall mark their location on your map. They tend to spend considerable time frequenting their usual haunts. Yeah, this place makes me happy because it explores the themes that are often on my mind whenever I get all existentialist. You know, when I'm by myself and I get all like, you know, I go into like crises or something. It's like they said earlier in the story, it's a weird comfort knowing you're not alone and thinking the things you do. That there isn't something just wrong with you for thinking the things that you do sometimes. It's comforting to know it's questions that other people ask themselves too. It just makes me love the writing of this game that much more. There you are. Not too bad. Oof, the other ones we gotta travel far. You know what worries me? If we can't do the final battle with NPCs like the trial with Heidelin, I might have to wait till tomorrow just to finish, because we might run into the same problem we did with Hades at the end of Shadowbringers. It was a late Saturday night, and we couldn't find anyone. We sat in a 15-minute queue with nothing. That might happen. Hmm? Oh, you must be that traverser from beyond who has been causing quite the stir around our abode. What a stroke of luck! In fact, I had been hoping I might have the opportunity to exchange thoughts with you and your companions. For you see, I have for too long whiled away my days in listless banality, drifting waywardly as my mental faculties dulled and slowed. Excuse me. I so longed to strike up a stimulating conversation with the traveler, yet for so long none would pay me visit. That said, I never imagined you would have such a strange physical form. Pray tell, how do you keep your balance? What keeps your innards from spilling out through one of the multiple orifices in your body? Something that I sometimes ask myself, too, sometimes. Oh, but pardon me. Truly, I meant no offense. Clearly, life in your world found this shape to be suitable, perhaps even necessary, for your survival. Perhaps our own original form was equally horrifying. Sure. Seeing you makes me wonder indeed, what our corporeal forms once looked like. Would our limbs be as lanky and unwieldy? Our heads as bulbous and unbalanced? Perhaps we resemble your kind in more ways than not. It is very strange that, like, a couple weeks ago? Maybe it wasn't that long ago, but it was before I started Endwalker. I had a moment exactly like that when I was about to log in off stream to do something really quick. I don't know if it was to, like, gold saucer stuff. I can't remember what I was doing. But I had like one brief fleeting moment, it didn't last very long, where I looked at my character, I looked at Leon, and thought he looked fucking freaky. Because of the shape of his head and his neck. And not because he looks like weirder, just the general human form freaked me out for like a few seconds. I was like, dude, we're just like this weird trunk with these appendages sticking out of it, like this head just growing out and these arms growing out too. I had a moment like that, so I kind of get where he's coming from. I was like, wow, that's kind of freaky, and then it just kind of went away after that. It was very weird. And that happened like at least a couple weeks ago, maybe. How curious. An unfamiliar corporeal life form calls out to me as I wait in vain for the inevitable coming of the end. This is indeed the chance of a lifetime, mayhap of many lifetimes. And so I pose to you this question. Tell me, traveler, what is the true nature of life in the universe? Yes! 42! Yeah, why not? See what he says. Why, precisely! That is the very conclusion I... Come on, dude, are you serious? I'm glad they kept this joke alive. God, this was a thing way back in like the early 2010s, maybe? Even before that, I think. It was an old-ass joke. That is the very conclusion I arrived at myself. How heartening and surprising, I dare say, to meet one as enlightened as myself. The end of our universe is inevitable, our actions entirely devoid of meaning. This is the one and only truth of existence. Yes. Doesn't mean I want to die. Doesn't mean I'm in a rush to die. Even though it's true. Probably. I've said it before, there are no absolutes. It just seems the most likely. But yeah, who really knows, right? Hello. That one's big. What a curious being you are! Have my peers discovered how to regain their corporeal forms while I remained lost in thought? No, of course not. Come to think of it, I wonder if we ever possessed the peculiar form that you now do. Oh dear. I fear this always happens when I delve too deep into such ruminations. The very moment I attempt to regain clarity, it triggers this most unpleasant reaction. If my fellow Ea have not found a way for us to reacquire our corporeality, perhaps it falls to me to meditate further upon the matter. In any event, pray leave me to my cogitations. Meditating. Might you kindly leave me to my ruminations? I dare say I am nearly on the verge of a philosophical breakthrough. Oh, I can just... Hold on, that fucker's gonna... God damn it. Yeah, that. Oh no! Go, 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 go! People run! But yeah, that was a very weird, surreal moment that happened out of nowhere. It's like my mind knew this was gonna happen at some point or something. I just looked at my character and thought it was freaky. Thought the human form in general was freaky. Because it followed me later, though. I looked in the mirror and remembered that that happened to me, and I was just like... I guess it is kind of weird. Like, I started looking at myself and was like, I guess it is kind of weird, but... It is what it is. I see you made quick work of the amalgam. Of course, it is well within each Ea's rights to choose when they wish to end their own existence, but to force others to join them, however accidentally, is another matter. This whole ordeal has led me to contemplate how I should meet my own demise. Ah, but forgive me, I forgot such matters are not left to choice for your kind. Most of the time, though. Truthfully, I envy you. To go forth each day full of vigor, not knowing when your lives will be unexpectedly snuffed out. It must feel incredible. It's an adrenaline rush, yeah. Going to the grocery store is, quite the adventure. My apologies if I have made you uncomfortable. I am unused to speaking with mortals. Fine. Be assured that I appreciate your help, and you have given me much to think about regarding death. Or perhaps life. Right. And here he goes. I might use this song to meditate one day. Did you encounter my acquaintances? I can only hope that they derive the same sense of stimulation from conversing with you as I myself did. For if so, we may yet discover a means to attain the moratorium known as death. Until that time, should you ever be in the mood for a discussion on the profound and inevitable meaninglessness of the universe, we will be here waiting. Yes, always waiting. cannot help but feel a rush of excitement when I see your pliable yet sturdy form. I almost have to resist the urge to open you up and see how it all works. Your brethren outside don't resist that urge, they go for it. Now, be at ease. I would not devolve to such savagery. I may have cast off my body, but I still possess some semblance of a rational mind. For the moment, at least. Your buddies outside, not so much. The orange ones. They have tried to open me up. Luminion. Glad I got on my mount as fast as I did, holy shit. I could have ended badly. 875 yalms to the south. That's way the hell over there. Judging by the direction, this should be the place. Some manner of Ea device. If our friends awakened it, then it should be safe to use. Yes, I can feel it. The ether emanating from the arcane pattern. This is a portal, and no mistake. Let us see where it leads. What manner of place awaits us, I wonder? Fair skies. Nice weather. Oh. We're back to Omega's dominion, I guess. Or I guess maybe this is a yeah, this could be a representation of Omega's world, yeah. Level Tricker. I forgot the first one we saw with the recreation of Midgard's Hormone world. The lady. Oh, she knew this was gonna happen, didn't she? Probably why she got behind me. Make sure she wouldn't get caught in the crossfire. Overflow level checker? What was the other one doing? Amazing. Yet another civilization. Yeah, it looks like Omega's. Attacked as soon as you arrived. Not the most welcoming of places, is it? We must try to find denizens who are amenable to conversation. We should also get the lay of the land, see how far we can go. I'll help Alfrina with that. In the meantime, you and Graha can search for friendlier folk. Apart from hostile beings, take care with your footing. I mislike the look of this terrain. Not knowing what the locals are like, you'd best take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. We'll find you once we finish exploring. I expect the twins will seek the outermost bounds of the Isle, so I propose we search the central area. There are machines patrolling here and there, sentinels in all likelihood. Like those you encounter, they will most certainly attack any who venture too close. But let us avoid them, and look for others that appear more approachable. Beta. Ooh. You see naught but patrolling machines in the area. They do not seem inclined to non-violent intercourse. Intercourse, you say? You didn't think I'd lost my 5-year-old sense of humor, did you? Overflow Omicron. Hello, hello, hello. Bloop, bloop. What's up? Oh, fuck, here we go. Excellent.
You suck!
Crimson, I know, you're shaking your SMH. I know. 109 yalms to the southeast. $120 yalms to the southwest. Oops, I was already on my mount. We're going that way. I see it. Can I reach it though? Yeah, looks like I can. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to... Okay, we're scrapping. At least one of them, I think, right? Both. Shit. They're making me fight for this ether current. Oh, I didn't notice that happened. I lost my FOF! Damn. 138 Yelm to the southeast. I'm glad these are all very close together. This last island is very friendly for this. There it is. $103 to the northeast. Alright. Excuse me, sir. Shit! Almost got debated. Good thing I saw that. At least I only have to deal with one. Maybe. There we go. Alright. No. Put that away. We're good. Yay! We're done. No more intercurrents for 2 years. On this character, anyway. I mean, once you found them once, though, really not that difficult for alts and stuff. Most people don't even have alts, so. There's a gemstone trader here. Recharge required. Please leave this unit alone. They do have a really nice looking design. It's very sleek. I do like it. I did like Omega's design quite a bit too for the same reason. I love the aesthetic of it. Look, Leon, the machines here do not appear hostile. Let's see if we can communicate with them. Begging your pardon, but we are searching for the denizens of this star. Bzzzt. Unknown life forms detected. Assigning generic label. Interplanetary travelers. Greetings and welcome to the planet. Blip bloop. We got the FF7 windows now, with text boxes. Meant to convey electronic voice, I guess. The planet. What? Could you please repeat that? It appears your hearing organ is... Uh-oh. That was close. Almost stuck up on me. It appears your hearing organ is unable to process the name in our tongue. It may be translated into yours as Alphatron. That makes sense. Our people, meanwhile, are called the Omicrons, and you stand within one of our outposts. Okay, so is Optimus Prime around here somewhere, or what's going on? The Omicrons, you say? And what is it that you do here? We are preparing for war. As we presently do not have a designated target, you have nothing to fear. Should your star become designated, however, you will be taken into custody and or terminated. Straightforward. I'd admire machines for that. Not a little frightening, these Omicrons, but at least they seem to be forthright. Yeah. They're honest. God damn, dude, what the hell? Ah. I will see what else I can learn from this fellow. You could try speaking with the others. Yes. Go on and try speaking with the other units here. With our combined findings, perhaps we can piece together the state of affairs for the Omicrons. The rules of engagement forbid the harming of neutral travelers. As long as you abide by our laws, you need not fear for your lives. Tell that to the fuckers outside. Oh. Greetings, traveler. When venturing outside the outpost, beware malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's commands, and indiscriminately attack all non-Omicrons. Who's Sir? For the avoidance of confusion, be advised that Sir is the alias of Stigma 1. Sir issues instructions to our forces as the foremost of the 6 strategic matrices that bear the designation Stigma. So there's up to 6, okay. Measuring combat capability. Result? Negligible. Subject falls outside targeting parameters. Greetings, Traveler. We are the Omicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. That was Omega's objective, yeah? In order to achieve this, we venture forth in conquest to acquire combat data and resources. This is why they annihilated a peaceful civilization like the dragons, just because they want to become stronger. Great! So they obviously have no value for life other than their own, and even then, probably just because of their, what they call objective, I guess, of self-improvement. Most recently, we succeeded in subjugating the homeworld of the beings whose strength was said to be without parallel, the dragons. Yet though the endeavor yielded a wealth of combat data, the star was rendered barren and unable to yield resources. A subsequent costing determined that the losses incurred exceeded the gains. And that's why you left. By the end of it, they realized it wasn't worth it because they put up too much of a fight, and then the planet was a wasteland. Yep, they just attacked because they wanted to improve themselves by fighting something strong. For that reason, they destroyed an entire peaceful civilization of dragons. Entire planet. Good. Blip blip. Autonomous weapon deployment. Complete. Vanguard armament upgrade. Complete. Munition levels satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment nominal. Awaiting instructions from Sir. Maintaining state of combat readiness. That it? Awaiting instructions from Sir. Please specify target. Please specify target. Do you have anything else to say? Since conquering the dragons, no new instructions have come from Sir, but we stand ready for deployment. Well, you learned a few things? So did I. Ere we share our findings, however, I believe it best to step outside the outpost. Come with me. Ah, there you are. We finished surveying the area. This will come as no surprise, but there was no way forward. There were portals like the one we used to get here, but those that worked only sent us to isolated isles. Then, as before, we must locate the embodiment of the emotion that bars the way. You would think there is no emotion with these guys, but... especially even with Omega, was not able to exhibit any emotion even at the end. What of yourselves? Did you find anyone to speak with? So the Omicrons seek to advance themselves through conquest. Yes. Following their victory over the dragons, they stand ready for the next campaign, but their leader has yet to issue new commands. And so they wait. Yep. Like a microwave waiting for you to use it, basically. In such a place, who could it be that fits Urianger's description? A soul whose yearning for oblivion surpasses all others. Urianger said this? Yeah. During our investigation before we joined you in Elysia. So that's the way of it. Why couldn't he just say it to all of us? Given what we know of this place, it's certainly a curious state of affairs. While the dragons in the Ea long for death, the Omicrons long for conflict. As much as that may lead to destruction, it must be considered a distinct desire. In order to find the source of the dominant emotion, I believe we should seek out their leader, this Sir. According to M032, the first Omicron with whom we spoke, there is a console by which we might communicate with it. M032 also added that it would be a pointless exercise, but that in itself, I believe, is worth investigating. What say you? I'm good. Pointless exercise? What does that mean, I wonder? Considering the Omicon's single-minded character, the lack of new orders does seem unusual. I agree that we should seek out their leader. I can't even read it anymore. Nope. All gone. A brilliant way to signal the coming of the end. Everything falling apart. And actually censoring spoilers. 3 things achieved with 1, despite making the title of the quest like that. Learn to love. Inquisitive Omicron. Assistance requested. This unit has observed a curious phenomenon in which certain members of enemy factions have exhibited a marked increase in their combat capabilities. Analysis suggests that said members share unique, intraspecific bonds with others in their faction. These individuals were conferred titles such as consort and family. This unit detected no difference in physiology that would provide notable advantages in combat, yet the presence of intraspecific bonds alone led to an increase in performance. Records indicate that one member of a bond group exhibits this exponential improvement when others are eliminated. Potential benefits of such augmentation are projected to be immense. Thus, this unit's query: are you familiar with the aforementioned phenomenon? Yes. This is unfortunate, as this unit has constructed a consort for research purposes. Or fortunate, excuse me, not unfortunate. You are asked to delineate the method by which this unit might form an intraspecific bond with said consort. Requesting standby at present coordinates, initiating consort retrieval. I'll just sit here? Alright. Thought I was gonna have to go meet it somewhere. Activating introduction. This unit presents the aforementioned consort. At present, its capabilities are comparable to subordinate patrol units. How should we proceed? You need to grow closer. This is like trying to reason with a wall, though. I feel like it's gonna go. Synonym detected. Initiating semantic review. Room. Closer. 1. Suggests obtaining a nearer physical proximity to the target than at present. This unit will move toward the consort in an attempt to develop the desired intraspecific bond. Visual analysis at this range reveals a dent in the target's frame. Estimated impact on functionality inconsequential. This unit requests confirmation that such discoveries will result in improved performance. Leon's like, I didn't mean it like that, fool. Cross-referencing gesture database. Implication identified as doubtful. Issuing new proposal to refer to the Omicron as my beloved, simulating the way in which a member of an enemy faction referred to its bondmate. My beloved. Appellation change confirmed. New designation, my beloved. Reconfiguring emotional status to grateful. This unit appreciates your assistance in facilitating the creation of a special bond, with my beloved. Initiating phase 2 of experiment. You want me to kill it now to see how it affects you? Or what are you gonna do? It's gonna do it on its own. This unit will evaluate whether the destruction of my beloved bears a positive impact on this unit's combat capabilities. I figured. Transmitting self-destruct command to my beloved. Is that an explosion in the distance? Analyzing unit status. No changes in functionality detected. Possibility of transmission failure estimated at 78%. This unit asks that you confirm that my beloved has successfully executed the self-destruct command. Retrieval of remains also requested. Okay. Damn, it went far! I'm picking up the other quest before I go then. Jesus. Initiating trading protocol. This unit is programmed to trade for bicolored gemstones, so this unit does not understand what value they hold. Oh look, a dynamis crystal. I like that. A golden crystal rich in dynamis. Nice new crafting material. Wonder how it'll come into play later. Combat evolved. Halo? Initiating communication. This unit requests your participation in an Omicron combat simulation. Alright. 98.8% of the past 12,359 sessions have produced the exact same result. Thus, an unknown quantity such as yourself is required. An Omicron aggressor is positioned outside the base. This unit has instructed said opponent to record all combat session data. You may initiate your assault when your preparations are complete. Are you looking for more of a pummeling or a pulverizing? Uncertainty detected. Reviewing previous transmission. Verbal analysis suggests this unit has omitted crucial information regarding the current mission. This unit begs your pardon. Once you have nearly destroyed the aggressor, you are requested to activate this device, which will automatically transfer combat data to a convenient portable format. Initiating handover protocol. Okay. Sending coordinates. Per the transmission you have just received, the opponent is located on the planar frame extending from this base. Reconfiguring emotional state to grateful. This unit thanks you for your cooperation. Alright. Yep. My beloved blew itself up, as per instructions. The thing about love is it's not rational. I don't know if it's going to learn anything from this, since these machines do what most machines do, and they only operate on logic and rationality, which love is not. Wait, is this it? A small and somehow familiar device for recording combat data. Oh, yes, actually. There we go. Level checker mini. A mini level checker. It's cute. Reviewing received transmission. Analysis suggests the aggressor is no longer operational. Requesting return of previously provided recording device. Oh, here you go. Beeping level checker mini. A device containing data from your fight against the Omicron aggressor. For some reason, the screen reads level 90, and its speakers are emitting a jaunty tune. Here. I wonder if it would say level 89 if I hadn't been level 90. Extraction of combat data complete. Analyzing. Quality of data greatly exceeds expected values in all previous records. Reconfiguring emotional state to impressed. The data suggests you engaged the aggressor at close quarters and gave it little time to respond. This unit will submit a request to the logistics matrix for the augmentation of emergency escape apparatus. Searching database for a situationally appropriate axiom. Only through combat can we improve ourselves. The absence of new challenge results in stagnation. Records indicate this base has not encountered new threats in a considerable amount of time. This unit sees potential value in enduring attacks more frequently, though its discord prevention module is buzzing in the most irritating fashion. Reconfiguring emotional state to grateful. This unit appreciates your cooperation with the collection of combat data. Analysis suggests it will prove invaluable to the further development of base Omicron. And then it gave me money. Alright. I'll take it. Let's see what the Inquisitive Omicron gleaned from the destruction of my beloved. Requesting retrieval of my beloved. Potential for reconstruction and further experimentation remains high. My beloved. What remains of the Omicron's consort after it self-destructed. Here you go. Self-destruct confirmed successful. Sadly, experiment confirmed unsuccessful. Analysis of this unit's parameters shows no change in functionality. This unit will consider executing a family simulation after reconsulting enemy faction data. But based on the results of the consort simulation, termination of research may be advisable. Reconfiguring emotional state from disappointed to grateful. This unit thanks you once more for your cooperation. Your proposed methodology may be implemented in future experiments. Okay. I have no idea what the hell it learned from that. Potentially nothing, but... Yeah, I better do it now. There we go, we're in the sanctuary now. Time for me to take another little break. Fuck. Well, we've explored basically every major area at this point, so I think we're getting pretty close to the end, so when I come back it should hopefully be the home stretch, but again, if we can't do the final trial with NPCs, we might not even be able to find a party for it. We'll see, but I gotta get up for a little bit.